especially today on Memorial Day, that we, of course, recognize those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it's also important, equally important, to also recognize that some of those that paid the ultimate sacrifice also to recognize that this was originally not their home country. And many Americans do not know that you can enlist the ranks of the military and have this not be your home country. There are many fallen, just like Corporal Gutierrez in 2003 in Iraq. And when I heard that story, it reminded me a lot of my dad's story. My dad didn't die in action, but he passed away shortly after his service. He was medically discharged, and shortly after he was medically discharged and became a U.S. citizen, that's when it just really rung true to me how much he really loved this country. I remember growing up, I knew he was Mexican-American from Jalisco, Mexico originally. He served 17 years active duty service in the U.S. Army. And before he passed away, he did say, I have to get my citizenship or else you're not going to have a dad. And he'd say weird jokes like that. I'm not sure if that was a joke, but I realized that I think he was right. If he didn't get his citizenship, that I probably wouldn't have a dad. And I remember those nights where we studied. I was 10, 12 years old, and shortly after I turned 12 years old, he became a citizen, and I remember that day. He held his hand, said the oath, and it was the proudest day of his life. Not only did he get to serve in uniform, and he wanted to serve in uniform, he loved this country, just like all of those that have served, and this wasn't their home country. And we have to honor those that died serving this country and not being citizens. And all these years later, and now in this appointment, and because of our leadership at the California Department of Veterans Affairs under Secretary Bassiani, I presented the idea of the pathway to citizenship. And I'm proud to say that our first workshop for Pathway to Citizenship happened right here in San Diego on March 17th of last year.